I've also read you describe yourself as a trash poet. I mean, Daniel Johnson's like anybody who grows up here just kind of like.
I got to open up for him one time.
Did you really?
Yeah, marijuana. It helps a lot. It's like,
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Everybody Gets 15 Minutes here at Waterloo Records in Austin, Texas. A quick conversation with some of our favorite acts we have the privilege of hosting live in-store right here on our own stage. I'm Gus Ochoa, and this is John Wesley Coleman.
hello.
Is it the third? Is that
I am
right?
the third, yes.
So, yeah, welcome to Waterloo Records.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As I'm like, researching for some of these things as I like to do. I research all of them actually as good as I can. I found the third popping up sometimes and the third not there sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I want to make sure I got that right from the top.
It's my dad's junior, my grandfather, the original John Wesley Coleman.
Nice. Well, welcome to Waterloo, man.
Thanks.
New
It's
spot.
a nice store.
Yeah.
I've been here a couple times.
All right.
And then I played the old location. I used to play there. And
yeah,
the stage is bigger. The sound system's great. It's still a lot of the same crew from the old store into this new store.
Yeah, we were talking about Bill Jeffrey before we got started.
Yeah,
I love Bill.
Bill's great. Yeah, he's a great artist and musician.
I know so much about Guided by Voices because of Bill.
yeah, I bet. Or like New Zealand pop,
Yes, the Chills.
The Chills.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They played our store. I think it was 2018 or 2019 in the parking lot of the old location, and Bill was just over the moon about that, and I was like, wait, what? And he totally introduced me to that whole thing. I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, he used to do like a cover band where he just did a lot of Flying Nun record label band songs and things like that.
Yeah, Bill is amazing. I think he's an amazing artist as well.
Right.
I mean, I know he does Ichi Senshi, but he also paints and things and draw. Or is it illustrations more, maybe?
He does both.
Okay.
I'm a co-owner of an art gallery, and I've had his art a few times at the gallery over the years. And I've curated Bill's work and his music, and also I mowed his yard and done a lot of yard work for him. And so, I'm just that guy, like musicians are like, they'll call me and then they'll do their yard work. If they get paid that week and have more money, and then
I probably need to hit Bill up as well, see if I can make a little extra money on the side.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's amazing. I mean, just talking about art in general, I was talking to you about your new record. That's why we're here, Broken Hearts Club. The cover. That's your piece, right?
Correct.
Okay. And again, that's kind of what I was thinking when you said, I know Bill, and I was just kind of thinking about that connection, but also reading up on you. You've done a lot of things. Stand up to writing books to, is that right? To painting?
Right.
Obviously, okay, first off, before I get too crazy off into the, world that isn't this record, let's talk about Broken Hearts Club. Where's that idea come from, the Broken Hearts Club?
The title track, it's kind of this song I wrote about kind of growing up in Dallas in the suburbs, and it's kind of loosely based on how I met my wife and me growing up and doing things at the Irving Mall and like in suburbia. Like I worked at the mall, I hung out at the mall.
Yeah.
I was a skateboarder at the mall.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes at the mall, doing things,
I worked at the mall as well here.
Chasing, girls around or hanging out with my buds and getting in trouble. And some of that's in there. Yeah. Some of that's just about connections and vibes with that whole thing. And then my buddy Dean Shea, he helped with this whole record. He came along and kind of reshaped the parts of the song and extended what I wrote. And then it's more or less about me kind of growing up in the suburbs and pop culture references. And
I did read that it was Dean co-produced it, right?
Yeah, Dean Shea.
Yeah. And he's got a history of graphic art too. So it's like we're talking about Bill, we're talking about you, because this cover you painted.
Right, it's an oil painting.
Yeah, trying to keep my focus on these tunes right now.
Yeah.
They've got a kind of like duct tape and paint and lightning rod, like wood, like kind of tactile kind of thing going on. Like it's a really, really cool feel in that way.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to feel that.
And you mentioned like the mall, and it made me think of something else that came to mind when I listened to this record. It made me think of David Berman.
Okay. Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Like that Purple Mountains record he did was massive in the store. Like everybody here, like it didn't matter what kind of music you listened to. People were like, oh,
Yeah.
and of course he had that song Margaritas at the Mall. And so when you're talking about, when you're talking about the mall,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about, you know, the parallels of where I think like to me, this sound fits in, or with maybe Ryan Davis's record that came out this last year. The New
Yeah,
Threats
we're
from the
really good
Soul.
friends.
Really?
Well, Ryan put out some of my records in the past.
Oh, wow.
And then I also covered a Silver Juice song on one of my records.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got to meet him and gave him a couple of my poetry books. I'm sure he was just like, oh, thanks. Put it over here. And I told him, I'm like, read it when you're in the bathroom on the toilet.
Right.
You know? I mean, just take it. Like I was a little nervous because
Sure.
he's kind of he was a literary giant, you know,
Yeah.
a great poet, you know,
Yeah.
sad story, but
Yeah, very sad for sure.
but yeah, Ryan, we go way back. So, and I'm glad he's doing quite well now these days with his reviews and his touring and stuff. So,
Christina Carter, a wonderful musician who works here as well.
yeah, I know her.
Yeah, she was very much all about, oh yeah, this guy, remember this guy, you know, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
he's been doing stuff for a while in that space. And so when I hear Broken Hearts Club, that's the vibe I got, like from your delivery to just, again, that sort of tactile kind of like approach to the guitar, the way things are mixed. It feels like the best bar band kind of you've ever heard. Or like, I like Sunday. I think that song's so cool. Monday feels like a Sunday. Try to fill all those dreams someday. I love that play on words, but also there's that sort of like thing that I was always trying to achieve when I, you know, it's like you hear bands that, you know, you think, oh man, yeah, I could totally do that. It sounds amazing. But like really there's so much more to like that tightrope of like, you know, change in a coffee can or something like it's like how did like, and it just keeps going and it's beautiful, man. I mean, it sounds so great. Anyway,
Thank you. Yeah, the timbre of that, just what you hear, and coins in a can on a string outside, you know, with the wind, and it's a good visual, you know.
Yeah. How do you go about capturing that?
Like songwriting or
well, yeah, I mean, well, let's talk about
let's
talk about the sound first, because like that is very much where I come from when I'm thinking of things, right? It's like the wind is blowing and the trees, and there goes the cars, and you know, I'm like right now I'm literally looking out the window at a liquor store. I want to capture that. Like how do you go about doing that? Because it really feels like on this record,
I used to like, I've just done it for a really long time. You know, I just turned 50 this past year, and I've been making records since I was like 15 or 16, and most of my life is just what's around me. And I've spent my whole life like working, you know, pretty hard. You know, I just kind of write about that. And then I really like color, and I guess I'm kind of hypersensitive with things around me. Like I soak in things a lot, and but I try not to overplay it. You know, I try to make things real simple. You know, Ryan Davis might have like all these words about the same thing, and I just try to narrow it down to real, you know, 10 sentences to like exactly how I feel. I might write a little bit more and then kind of carve out what I need and then make it work with the imagery. But I used to ride around the bus and like write things I see on the bus or listen or hear people say, and then I turn those into songs. Or people would pay me sometimes to write about their own experiences, and then I take some of that and then put mine into my character into the song. You know, I don't write very much character-based songwriting. For example, like Bob Dylan has like, you know, he has a song about every name probably, you know.
Sure.
Or like towns or,
Sure.
you know. I do have a little bit of that, but Broken Hearts Club, you can kind of see there's dialogue in between people and things that are going on, but I kind of make it to where you could almost put yourself in that play. It's like a play, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a real thing where you can smell them all. You can smell like the floors being cleaned and the Taco Bell and the Gadzooks and the
Gadzooks.
You know, you can see the mall security and the smell of the clove cigarettes out in the parking lot. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, those are things I did. I used to skate a whole lot and like hang out as a kind of a punk rock teen, but I work outside a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not around music a whole lot when I work.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of things in my head, and then I group them together, and then when the time is right, I'll kind of chisel out a song when I feel like I needed to do that. So
it's very near and dear to my heart in that way, because I really do think that your approach to it is something that, as a songwriter or someone who wants to make music, I think it's deceptive to people in a way, because they think, oh, I can do that. I can totally do that.
Right.
And it's not easy to do. To me, it's not easy to capture your surroundings in that way and then like go, you know, I'm going to use this pedal or whatever. It's going to make it sound this way. Or I'm going to, you know, I'm thinking of like beating on the side of a, you know, a corrugated tin roof or something. And it's like, I'm going to sample that and then like, or whatever it might be. You know what I mean? And people do that, you you know?
Right. It's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I just think it's like kind of, this record really spoke to me in that way. And again, when I was researching a little bit about you, I read an old Kevin Curtin piece.
Oh yeah, another friend of mine. Yeah,
that he did on you back in 2015, right? And so it kind of follows that whole thing of like, man, this John Wesley Coleman's like, he's a painter, he's a writer, he's a comedian, like what the? So Kevin wrote back in 2015, if you don't mind me, right?
I think if that's one of the things you said, I'm like, why did you write that on this?
Well, I think I think you should take it, use it for this record.
Let's see. He's wrote a couple things.
He said he's built a national profile, right? A local respect for songwriting that filters Lou Reed through Daniel Johnston. And I was like, know that. That's great. And then he says, as marinated in Lone Star and Chronic.
Oh, I didn't know. That's great. I didn't know he said that.
I was like, that's a fantastic
I'll take
description.
That. Yeah, absolutely.
It was awesome.
I love Lou Reed.
Yeah.
And Daniel Johnston, of course, he's great.
I mean, Daniel Johnston's like, anybody who grows up, you're just kind of like,
I got to open up for him one time.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was horrible experience.
Why was it horrible?
It's a long story, but basically the bar was like, he's not going to play for very long.
Yeah.
And the touring band that he was with, their van broke down.
Yeah.
So it's just me, the opener, minus a band, and then him maybe for 4 or 5 songs. And he was getting a big guarantee. They're like, can you just play as long as you can play? And we'll give you unlimited alcohol and more money. We don't want people to leave. And so I'm like, okay. And I'm playing my band at the time up in Denton, Texas. We were playing and he's just standing behind me with his arms crossed, just ready to play and just mad. He's just like, why am I waiting on you? Like, I'm ready. And every time I would look over there, he's just like looking at me like,
man.
I'm like, oh man. And the bar is like, no, play another song. Oh, there was a packed room, you know?
Yeah. And
I was like, all right, you know? And it was just an awkward feeling, but kind of fitting, kind of funny, you know? And I met him a couple times and his brother's really, really nice. I met his brother and so long ago, you know, that was maybe 20 years ago. I
mean, good or bad. I mean, that's just an experience. I think that, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody would want to have. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then I ended up working, doing an art installation when they had his retrospective art installation down at the Contemporary Jones Center here in Austin.
Yeah.
My friend Steve put me on that gig for a few days, like painting the walls Mountain Dew colors and like huge walls and setting up all this art and tapes. And they had his piano in there. And Steve let me play the piano. He's like, you want to play Daniel's piano? I'm like, yeah, man. So I sat down. I was like playing a little bit of that piano that he recorded a lot on.
Dude, that's amazing.
There's a lot of stories, but I've been lucky to live in Austin and kind of cross paths with all these people just because I've just continuously been creating, you know.
Like on the subject of creating and sort of expression, like there's a freedom to your sound. I think I've already kind of alluded to that. Like it makes me feel like everything is possible, which I really love. How do you decide how you're going to manifest that? Like given that you have so many outlets, how does it come to you that like, oh, this is going to be a song or an album, or now this is going to be a painting, or I feel like writing a book today? Is there a madness method or method to the madness, I guess I should say?
Sometimes like the song Strange Birds off my last record, I just woke up and I just grabbed the guitar and I had the song already in my head. And then I just took the phone out, like just a little record demo, first take, like kind of had the whole song. And I don't know where that came from. Some things would be like a title. I don't know. You know, I'll do a lot of music and then I'll kind of back off and listen to a whole lot of music. I listen to a lot of radio, like Co-op and you know, some KUTX, but I listen to a lot of different shows. I sit outside a lot on my patio. I'm always outside, like a lot. Like staring at canvases out on my patio. I'll kind of work on them and let them hang. And then they'll kind of reflect maybe the songs I'm working on, that mood and that environment, you know. And sometimes I just have to say, hey, this sucks, and just let it go. And like I'll put things away and repaint over the things, or throw things away, or tear up song ideas. And I used to collect songs, put them in boxes and stuff like that. The Broken Hearts Club LP cover, it was just up on a shelf in the garage. I didn't think nobody was going to use this. I kept looking at this. And I'm like, this is horrible and it's super weird, but I just can't get rid of it. It's like a ghost entity thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then people like it. But my friend's like, no, that's perfect. And I'm like, okay, you know, and yeah, sure enough. So too many words coming back at you when you ask me a simple question, but there really is no rhyme or reason. It's just, I really love art and I love rock and roll. That and being a dad, it's like pretty important to me.
Yeah.
So, and then things like my diet and then having fun on my skateboard or my playing basketball, you know, I like just kind of doing stuff. Yeah. And you know, marijuana, it helps a lot. It's like probably 80% of all that's just, Kevin Curtin probably knows what's going on there. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to get out of my head a little bit, you know, and then, you know, my family's like, oh, he's out on the patio staring into the whatever, you know, not in a bad way. It's just, you know.
It sounds like you're open to it, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The idea of things hitting you.
When I was in elementary school, I had a dream one time that I saw these like musical spears, and I was like, that is a cool thing. Like these things flying around in the universe, and it comes to you, and then it's like a ball, and it's like of light, and it's like energy of music. And then I woke up, I'm like, musical spears, that's kind of weird. And then later on, I heard that term in like somewhere in astronomy or something like that, like when I ended up getting into high school, and I'm like, where did that come from? You know, like I have a pretty vivid imagination, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I was kind of sick a lot, so I would have to sit out sometimes of the sports, and I would just sit around and draw, and I was always drawing and making art and listening to music, and then I got real heavy into skateboarding, and then, you know, I started partying like in my elementary years, and still am, but yeah, explains, yeah, but sorry, that was a lot of information.
No, it's great information. It's great information. That's again doing my research on you, and then to come in here and you know Bill, and you know Christina, and you know these folks, and these people are all genuine artists to me too. You know, I'm inspired every time I come through these doors.
Oh, cool!
By all the people that work here and create, and so reading that about you, and then hearing you sort of like, I guess, validate that in a way. I was very much looking forward to hearing about all of these avenues that you've explored, just, you know, including obviously the reason we're here for Broken Arts Club. Yeah. I've also read you describe yourself as a trash poet. Is that a thing? Is that a real thing? Did you do that? Yeah. And what do you mean? I mean, I think I know what you mean, but like, what do you mean by that?
Well, a long time ago when The Onion was like kind of big and happening in town, they came and did a piece on me, my buddy Sean, and at the time, I had a poetry book that was attached to a record, like at the time, it was like a CD, and it was with Monophonos Press.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of press going on about me, you know, about my writing. And at the time, I was living off Chacon, you know, around 2003 in East Austin.
Sure.
And I was like the very last house next to the projects and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'd be out there and it'd be like, you know, hookers on my porch and crack and going around.
Right.
Sometimes I would kind of get in trouble doing things and whatever. And I would write about it. And then somehow that term came up, you know, like it's not about people or anything, just kind of about like, you know, like I think I even wrote about like how my dog ate all this different types of trash and then like vomited it up into the kitchen.
Right.
And then the house was slanted. It's all the vomit would just run underneath this gas heavy stove. And I'm like, trying to just get this, you know, I would write like disturbing, gross, but kind of funny, real things about things that were happening to me. And I was trying to be real with it.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy Childish is a perfect example of that. You know, like someone who would write a lot, many records and many books. Poetry books, novellas, novels, chapbooks, great painter. I'm like, oh, I'm already doing this and he's doing that. I'm like, well, if he's being really real and I'm being really real, I mean, I'll just keep being really real. I was just trying to take the lid off of being afraid to talk about certain things and the things I thought were funny. Yeah, and then there's like a video of me like crawling in and out of a dumpster on this music video.
Amazing.
Just really, it's just like hobo thing. And somehow that term came up and I didn't just say, hey, call me a trash poet. It was like part of this interview process I did with The Onion. And then that has followed me ever since. Like I'll be in Europe, I'll be somewhere and someone's like, oh, you're the trash poet. And I'm like, I don't have that many poetry books. I I don't have a whole lot of writings out there really. I mean,
Right.
I do. They're all like in separate little things and zines and stuff, and it just gets used a lot, you know, 'cause
Yeah.
it's fun to talk about.
Yeah. It was something that jumped out at me. If you don't want to be called it, we can, we can stop
it's
it right
cool.
now.
I'll take it. I mean, you know, I like junkyards. I'll take trash and make sculptures and things,
Yeah.
you know, and art is, to me, it's like taking things that you would think you would throw away and then you develop it into something beautiful, like a language, you know,
Yeah.
that can inspire someone to maybe make someone laugh or understand where you're coming from. Or I like to write really silly things. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like almost embarrassing as an adult to show what you've written because it's so silly. Like, I'll probably never be a CEO of a tech company because I wrote things like rockabilly is silly, or, you know, dogs vomiting, hobo piss and stuff. I don't know. Like, it's just
You're referencing things that have actually happened in life. Like,
Right, right.
life is that way. It isn't perfect.
right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I'm never trying to be mean or like, I'm always just trying to make it like a little story, like a story, you know, like
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a little story, you know.
I mean, I love that. Like, lastly, as you make your way around, like promoting this record,
yeah.
you know, you're talking about stories and we're talking about art and where influences come from. Give us some records you've been listening to, or maybe just a couple, 2, 3 that you're into right now that maybe you want to, you know, give a shout out to, or people who are like, this is what I dig, you know?
You know, you gave me a heads up on it.
I did.
And I'm like, man, I could just, like, every day it changes.
Sure.
But there is one factor that I've been constantly like listening to this guy's music for a long time now, and a lot lately.
Okay.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, I love Ozzy.
I love Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes. Dude.
Love Ozzy. Like, before he died, I was like watching some of the Osbournes, like, TV show.
Yeah.
When I first heard his first 2 solo records, you know, Blizzard of Oz and sorry, the other
Is
one.
it Bark at the Moon?
No, that's the third one.
The third one.
Yeah, which is
Diary of a
amazing
Madman?
too. Diary of a Madman. Yeah, those 2, like the production, the guitar.
Yeah.
He wrote most of the lyrics on those first 2 records. Like, they're very poetic, and he's like a very big Beatles fan.
Yes.
I love the Beatles too, you know, and I love
Same.
all of them, you know,
Yeah.
especially like George and Lennon and all that. But like, you can hear that, you know, if you just take away some of the production.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of pop songwriting, I guess you would say.
Okay.
You know, like Brian Wilson's like kind of a big influence on me, like his discography. But then I love this classic stuff like the Stones.
Mm-hmm.
But Ozzy Osbourne, I got like his shirt, you know, Bark at the Moon shirt for like my birthday from my wife and my kid. They're like, here's your birthday present. Man, I wear that all the time. And I sit out in the backyard. I'm just playing like the first 2 records all the time. Just like, you know, yeah. And then my neighbors are like, man, again? I'm like, yeah. Then they start playing it.
Just catching fire with Ozzy down the block.
Yeah. But also, you know, there's some beautiful women singers I love, like Nina Simone.
Oh, yeah.
I love Nina Simone and things. I listen to a lot of soul music and also country music like George Jones or Loretta Lynn, or, you know, I love jazz. I love old hip hop and rap music and even classical. I play a lot of piano in my garage. I have a little studio.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's where I write a lot of my stuff too, that and acoustic. I like Clifton Chenier, the Zydeco legend, and I'm real big into Crawfish. Elvis Presley has this Cajun record where he has a song about a crawfish. I've been listening to that one song a lot lately. It sounds kind of like kind of like a Tunnel of Love sound, but it's about a crawfish.
So you get stoked for crawfish season.
Man, I am just crawfish nuts. Like, it's just, I can't shut up about it. It's kind of a problem. At least it's better than like some drugs that, you know.
No, I mean, I like crawfish. I'm into
love crawfish.
Yeah, man.
And,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know, I collect vinyl, and then all my vinyl is pretty much torn up because I don't really take care of it. I just kind of play and party on my records. I have a portable record player on the patio, and I'll listen to stuff. And I've been listening to a lot of Townes Van Zandt's Nashville sessions and his LA sessions. So, like a lot of the songs that were not used, and they sound more pop oriented, you know. I love those songs a lot, and dub music. Yeah, I'm just kind of all over the map.
I'm glad to hear that.
Cool.
I mean, it tracks also with I mean, you're a true artist. Like, I didn't know what I was getting into when I was like, yeah, okay, let's sit down and talk. But I've gone down the rabbit hole this week, and I love this record. And
me neither. I didn't know what I was getting into. So I don't.
Well, I hope it hadn't been too
I'm
bad.
trying to like sound like I could talk well on the microphone. I am a little clammy and nervous.
No,
but,
I think I'm happy you came by.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Gus.
Y'all, the latest album is called Broken Hearts Club. It's on Doobie Gold Records and FSG. That feels so good. It's out everywhere you stream your music, and you can pick it up here, the physical copy at Waterloo Records. We've got it right here if you're watching. You can follow him on Instagram at John Wesley Coleman. And if you want to keep up with all things John Wesley Coleman, you can head to the johnwesleycoleman.com.
Oh, that's right.
John Wesley Coleman III. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Gus.
I really appreciate you being here. And thank you all out there for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at Waterloo Records, at Waterloo.sound for our Dolby Atmos studio, at Waterloo_wheels to follow the ongoing adventures of our Waterloo van, and at Unofficial Dogs of Waterloo to see all of our canine pals who come in to shop with us. I'd like to thank Cory Reinisch, our marketing manager, Allie Lingren, our in-house engineer, Mads Lupold for putting these all together, Audio-Technica for the mics and headphones, and of course to the hardest working record store staff on the planet, without which none of this is possible. I'm Gus Ochoa. I'll see y'all next time. And until then, support the artists you love, support your local record store. And if you're in Austin, stop in and say hey. We'd love to see you. Adios, y'all.